President Trump had high hopes of flipping Nevada. I'm wondering what his chances are now. And gee, if Texas went to the Democrats, would that put to rest any notion of a contested outcome?
Well, we're going to have to see how close it is in some of these states. I mean, the big states, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan. But look, Nevada, it did go for Clinton in 2016. Trump was hoping to flip it, but it seems like Biden is maintaining his lead there. There are a number of other states that tend to be Republican strongholds. I'm thinking about Georgia. I'm thinking Arizona, Texas, as you mentioned, where, Trump still might be slightly ahead in the polls, but Biden is really closing that gap and making it a very, very tight race in some of those traditionally red states.
Emily, President Trump also seemed resigned to not having a stimulus package ahead of the election, ahead of the vote. So how much does this hurt him?
I think it's been going back and forth for so long on whether or not we're going to have a stimulus before the election at this point. I mean, I think Trump was pushing for a stimulus because he thought it could help him. But then again, there were Democrats and other lawmakers who were also pushing for a stimulus because they thought it could help them. I think it's going to come down to probably a blame game. Both sides are pointing the finger at each other. And I think the big question now really for the American people is, can something get done in the lame duck after November? Or are they going to have to wait until a brand new Congress is set in January to get any sort of relief?
And our viewers were just watching President Trump live right now in another campaign rally. He's been really busy. I mean, 3 rallies just on Monday alone, all in Pennsylvania? How much does this strategy help him? We know that this really made a difference in 2016, but is he sort of preaching to the same choir by now?
From what we're seeing, he is. I mean, these rallies don't really seem to be helping his poll numbers in a lot of states. Joe Biden is still up in Pennsylvania. He's been visiting there a lot, too. I think these rallies, they have a lot of energy. You see a lot of people who are really big Trump supporters turn out. But there are a lot of Americans, their top concern right now is the coronavirus. And they see Trump holding these large events. They don't see a lot of people wearing masks. And it kind of fuels this narrative that you've seen Biden pushing, that the president does not take the coronavirus seriously. And I think that sort of explains some of Trump's dipping numbers in the polls, and these visuals at the events kind of, once again, reinforce that narrative.